Is charming, or is he a monster in disguise? So imagine you are living your dream soft girl life. You feel like, oh, I finally got the guy I've always wanted. Everything's going so well and so smooth. But behind scenes, this man has been plotting against you. He is not the person that he puts off as he is. So I'm pretty sure by now you guys have heard about Isis, the new trophy wife. Her unfortunate story is a chilling reminder of how some men use their wealth as a weapon to control you, to exploit you, to manipulate you, or cause unimaginable harms. But some men are actually genuine about their intentions. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the difference between a healthy guy versus a man who is toxic and not who he says he is. He is like the covert narcissist type of guy who puts off as being very charming and everyone seems to like him. Everything's going so well, and then you are just confused as to what's going on. I don't deserve this, your love, and sometimes I just drift far away. Too much, you know, it's very important for us to protect ourselves and know who to choose the right mate, because as women, it could be a very dangerous game, because I feel that although, you know, men and women both get hurt, but I feel that women can get the short end of the stick when we are entering relationships, because it's a lot of stuff, and I could talk to you guys. That's a whole different discussion. If you are like in a phase where you've dated nothing but horrible guys and you may have finally found the right guy, but you're not sure if he's the right one, or if you're a person that's kind of new to dating and you don't have that much experience and you want to avoid like all these unnecessary relationships, these unnecessary heartbreaks, then continue to watch this video, because I can definitely give you guys some advice that I've lived in my lifespan, because I'm gonna let you know I've been through it. I've been through it, but then I got to a place where that's not gonna work by me. That's not gonna, you can't run that stuff on me.
I'm nothing like what I look like. I'm really not the one, but you know.
And also, before we begin with this, of course, it's important for us to, again, find these healthy partners and someone who cherishes you, someone who does well by you, but it's also important for us to be the person that we want as well. And so make sure that we are taking some type of accountability of our actions and how we may show up, because we may have some unhealed ways that we may put it onto a guy who's may actually be a good person, and we are having our past experiences affecting him, and so we don't want to do that. So one of the very first things, that if you are dating a guy, it feels very intense, like the chemistry is intense, and then next thing you know, like everything is moving super fast. And he's doing everything that you want him to do. He's saying all the right things. He's gifting you like he don't have to have the most money, but he's just giving you as much as he can. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I found the right guy. He's just this, that, and third. But I want you just to slow down, slow down, take it back, take a breather, and think for one, how do I feel? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel that I want to make sure that I don't want to miss out on this opportunity? Let me make sure I do everything, because he's doing all this stuff for me. So let me make sure that I do right by him, so he doesn't just like pull away and leave me, because this feels so amazing. This feels so good. The way he's making me feel loved, the way he's making me feel seen. I feel pursued. I feel that I am the center of his universe. If you feel like that, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a game. That's a game. Because what he is doing, this is like the toxic trait, right? So what he's doing is he's trying to move very fast, because he don't want you to think. He don't want you to give no time for you to think about what's going on. He just wants to rush and just love bomb you and just give you everything he thinks that you want. He probably has done this with other people. He saw how it was easy to win them over. So he's doing the same thing to you. He doesn't want you to think. So he's just doing so much for you so that you don't see his red flags, so that you don't see the bad things about him. He is trying to woo you over.
He manipulated you again?
Versus a man who's genuine. He's going to take his time, because He wants to figure out, okay, how do I feel about her as well? He's going to pursue you, right? But it's going to take time. He's not going to rush into commitment. He's not going to rush you for sex. He's not going to try to give you all these expensive, spend so much money on you at first, because he doesn't know you yet. He's trying to figure you out too. Just as like how it is for us, we want to figure out men. They are doing the same thing. They want to figure us out as well. So he's not going to rush you into things like that so fast. You have the other men who don't try to do anything, who don't try to like put off any effort. That's a difference. There's a difference when you feel like someone is trying to get to know you, but it's just a little bit of a slower pace, because relationships that have a solid foundation, you know, you get to know each other, you taking things slow, you feeling each other out, those type of relationships tend to last longer versus the ones that as fast as it starts, as quick as it's going to end. So the next topic I want to talk to you guys about is to pay attention how he handles money. I'm not talking about his finances, how he handles his money, like when it comes to his personally, but we're talking about how he handles money towards you. So there's some men that will give you a lot of money, they will spend money, or pay your rent, they'll pay some bills, they, you know, they'll do a whole lot of things, but they are expecting something in return. So sometimes they'll use their money to just manipulate you. So if you are not doing what they want you to do, they're gonna pull back. They're gonna give back their access to their funds. They're not gonna spend much money on you. They're gonna use their money as a weapon to punish you. Versus a man that actually genuinely cares about you, he's going to want you to know how to support yourself. He doesn't mind like taking care of you if he got it, you know, not saying like if he doesn't have it, don't expect a man that don't have it right now to give you a lot of money. But if he has it, he doesn't mind spending on you because he actually cares about you. He cares about your well-being. But at the same time, he's going to want you to be a boss too. He's going to want you to be financially literate. He's going to want you to be financially stable on your own. But at the same time, he doesn't mind helping you when you are like needing some type of support financially. Or if you don't need some type of support financially, he doesn't mind like doing things for you just because he loves and he cares about you. On social media, people love to talk about men just like, oh, he buys me this, he pays my bills, he does this, he does that. Okay, but think about, why is he doing this? Do you know this man? First of all, it's not a good sign for a person who doesn't know you to just be spending an outlandish amount of money on you. They don't know you. So obviously that's a red flag, because he's trying to use it is as a tool to get something out from you. If you are very successful, he doesn't feel overshadowed by you. He encourages you to be successful. He supports your success, and he is not intimidated by you when you're doing well. He wants you to grow. He wants you to do well. He wants you to evolve. He wants you to grow. And at the same time, he's working on his own self. He got his own ambitions. You know, he got his stuff going on. And it's not like he feel like threatened by the amount of money that you make. And he's not trying to make you not work at all. He encourages you to do better and to grow. So does he support your social life? When you have like a group of friends, does he get kind of jealous? Does he get feeling some type of, I don't know about her, I don't know about that friend right there, I don't know, you know, she sound like this, or he'll talk about the way she looks, like, I don't know, he needs to be mindful of that. He should not try to make suggestions about who you're supposed to be hanging out with unless you come to him and you ask him, you just probably vent to him, and he'll just give you his suggestions, and he's thinking about your best interest. But a man just simply telling you to not just like hang out with a lot of friends, or sometimes they'll try to tell you, oh, that family member, I don't know about your family, babe, something wrong with them. They are trying to isolate you so that you don't have nobody to lean on, that you don't have nobody for support. They want to be your only source of support because they are very insecure of other people. They get very threatened, very jealous. And so they just want you just to be all to themselves. And in the middle of that, you may feel like, oh, wow, my man, he really care about me. Dang, he really told me about something. You know what? You right. He's right. But no, he is not right. He is just trying to play you. He just wants you to also himself. And it's not a good thing, because eventually that relationship like that, the way it's going, the way it's sounding, he is eventually going to leave you, and you're going to be with nobody, no friends, no family, no nothing. And it's going to be all because of him. And he's going to be moving on to the next chick with somebody else. And so be mindful of that. Versus a man who actually cares about you, he supports you, he wants you to spend time with your friends. If you have a big group of friends, he wants to get to know them, he wants to just be involved in your life. And if there is discord in your family or with your friends, he's gonna try to like help you resolve those conflicts, help you figure out to get to the root of the problem if you ask him, right? So, or versus if you don't have that many friends, he's going to give you advice of like, hey babe, maybe you want to go to this type of group, or if that's what you want, he's going to encourage you to have like your own social support, your own dynamic outside the relationship, because it's not just when you have it just only your relationship with yourself, that's codependency. It's good to have your relationship with your partner and relationships with other people, so your whole world just doesn't evolve on one person. Because if this one person leaves and they go away, you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know how to handle yourself, because that person, you made that person your life. And I was guilty of this when I was younger. I remember back when I was like 19 years old, this one particular relationship, I made this relationship my everything. I made this man my everything. And then I remember it just like yesterday. I went to the mall by myself, and I remember I felt so lonely. I was like, I didn't know what to do, because I had made that person my everything, my center of attention. Don't lose yourself in a relationship. Always have other things going on for yourself. Whether it be a hobby, or whether it be family members or friends, or if you don't have the friends, different types of support groups, different types of communities that you can be involved with, because you don't want your life to just change because this one person came in. You want to consistently doing the same type of thing in your life. So if this person is here and if they're not here, your life will continue to go on, and it's just going to be what it is. Another thing is this: assess if he genuinely cares about you. So sometimes this can be the hardest one, because people can put on a mask and act like they really care about you. They can do all these things. They can say the nicest things, but eventually that mask is going to fall off. I give it to 3 months, but I heard in some cases, sometimes these masks can last to a year or years. But I don't know about that one. But a person can only face so long about how they care about you, because you have to assess people. You have to study people. This is why you don't just jump into a relationship with somebody, because you don't really know them. So you have to take time to figure out if this person cares about you. When things are going bad for you, how are they responding to you? Are they supporting of you, or are they dismissing you? Or is he the type of person who he just wants to give you certain things and do things for you so you could do something for him? Because if he does, he just only in for it for himself, because then he doesn't really care about you. He's only just doing things for you to get something out of return. They are going to be consistent. They're always going to be there for you, because that's their character. Their value is to be respectful. Their values are to be kind. Their values are also always to be considerate. Their values are always to be thoughtful. So if you pull back or something, they're going to talk to you, because they don't want to just like stop doing for you or stop caring about you or stop caring for you. They're going to come to you and say, babe, like, what's going on? Let's have a conversation. If anything bothering you, they're not going to use this as an opportunity to stop, doing things for you. If things happen, if you're not being a partner, if you are just being a complete toxic person, then they may leave the relationship, but then they're going to consistently be themselves, because that is who they are. It's not conditional that way. It's not like, well, you do X for me, I'm going to do Z for you. So it is who they are. It's in their makeup. It's just who they are as a person. That's how you can tell them a person who's genuinely cares about you, but then they're going to have to talk to you about it, because they want to continue to be there for you, continue to be that person that they are for you. They don't want to pull back love. They're going to always want to connect. They're going to always want to be there for you, because that's who they naturally are. Another thing that I want to add to about if your partner cares about you, does he have empathy for you? You don't have to turn into a psychologist to tell him about what you want, because no matter how much you try to communicate with a person, if they don't care about you, it doesn't matter how well of a communicator you are. They just don't care about you. Versus a man that actually do care about you, he cares about your love language, for example. He cares about the way you feel. He cares about getting to know you. He cares about your interests. He cares about your goals. And I'm not saying like, he just automatically do all these things. It all depends on does he care not to make an effort to meet your need? Because not everybody is just this perfect person. They're gonna know everything that you want. They're gonna know everything that you don't want. That doesn't exist. It takes time for people to work together. It takes time for a person to understand each other or to understand you. So if he's showing that he cares about your feelings, your happiness, and your emotions, then that means that he cares about you. His intentions for you are genuine. Let's talk about the communication styles. A guy does not have good intention. When you have a problem or with him or in a relationship, if he gets defensive, if he doesn't want to take accountability, if he wants to deflect, if he wants to just think everything that you talk about is an argument and doesn't want to like bring the two together, he uses everything that you talk about with him, or if you have an issue with that, you just want to just like, hey babe, can you stop doing this? Because you may are establishing your boundaries, and he gets very defensive with you. You find yourself always arguing with this person. Nothing ever gets through to him. He's either walking away when you talk. He's either slamming doors, or he's fussing at you, he's yelling his voice, or if worse, he's getting physically violent. Then you need to get out of that situation, because that person obviously does not give a damn. If a person that you care about, you respect them, you're going to try to figure out how to get with this person, how to connect with them again, because you don't like the separation. So if there's a problem, it's not me and you against each other, it's me and you against the problem. And so when a man comes to you in this way, he understands what you're coming from. He may have made a mistake, and he may not know like how you want to be loved, and it's just like a casual mistake, and he just doesn't know. And he wants to understand how to love you better. He won't take it personal. He won't get so defensive. He won't try to do these type of manipulative games so that he can have like a one up on you. No, what he will actually do is he'll be calm. He will not get triggered by that, and he will just come as the person, as a man that he's supposed to be, and figure out the problem, because men naturally like to solve problems. But there's men that are not men. There's men that can be toxic, and they would use you, and they could be in that feminine energy, and they could be want to go back and forth with you, get emotional with you, versus like rising up and figure out, okay, so this is what we have, this is what's going on, okay, let us figure this out together, because I want to get closer to you. I want us to always get along with each other. I want us always to be at peace. I want us to be happy. Versus a guy, every time you talk to him, every time you have an issue with, he just wants to fight with you. He just wants to fuss. You can't even be yourself. You can't talk to him about nothing. And it's just like, it's like a screaming match every single time, every week. Every time you go out, there's an argument, there's a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've definitely been in situations like that. I remember like in one relationship that every weekend, every time we went out, we was always arguing. It's like every single time, because it's like, if I had something to bring up, it's going to be an argument. So a person who's very intentional, who's a grown man, who's a good person, is going to take the time to hear you out and understand you, because he's here to solve these type of problems, not create more and more problems for you. But at the same time, we got to be honest with ourselves. It's also good for us to reflect on ourselves and say, okay, is this a big of a deal? Is this something that we need to be arguing about? Or this is something petty that we could just like push off to the side? So then the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is notice how he respects your boundaries. If a man is toxic, he's going to think of your boundaries as just another challenge for him that he needs to like overcome and win over on, because he don't see you as just someone for him to just respect, as another person to value them. He's going to look at you as, okay, I just get my way regardless of how they feel. Eventually, I'm just going to get my needs met. He may pressure you into things that makes you feel uncomfortable. He may rush into sex. You may have ideas. You may have your opinions. He may try to dominate that. He's supposed to run a show. You have no say-so in anything. He disregards your feelings. And he may make you feel guilty for standing your ground. He may try to manipulate you. If you feel a certain type of way, he may try to use reverse psychology and try to make you feel guilty about something that he had done to you. He's just trying to get control back over the situation. He's not respecting your autonomy. He's not respecting you as a woman. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about your needs. He doesn't care about you. So a person doesn't respect your boundaries. That's what's going on. versus a man that respects your boundaries, a man who is genuine, a man who is good, is going to appreciate you for who you are, because he's with you for you. He don't want you to be another him. He's with you because you are different from him, that you are a different human being, that you advocate for yourself. He respects that. He doesn't want a person that's a pushover. He wants a woman who knows who she is, because if you know who you are, he knows that you're not going to be out here getting dogged out by other people, or that you're going to be out here just going along with any man say or any woman say, because he is attracted to a person who is assertive of themselves. He's not attracted to a person who just is just gonna be a pleaser, just a pleasing just because. That's not attractive to this type of a man. These type of men want women who are have a sense of a strong sense of identity. They like a person who has a sense of confidence in themselves. And that is what good men are attracted to. Only toxic men want a woman who is just going to do whatever he says and go along with what he says so he can get his way, because he feels threatened and challenged by somebody who is different or who doesn't agree with him, who's trying to put you down, who's trying to make you feel lower, who's trying to make you feel less about yourself. So a healthy man wants you to feel safe. He wants to make you feel protected in his space and his energy, because that's what he's for. You shouldn't feel like you're compromising yourself in your relationship. It should feel like a partnership that uplifts you. If you came out of past relationships that were horrible and you go into something that's healthy, it's natural to feel second guessing of yourself, to second guess this person's intention, because you're just used to something that was so chaotic. But it is important for us, if we do feel those triggers, to just regulate ourselves. And by that I mean to just like pay attention to how you're feeling and just to talk yourself through whatever you're feeling. So if you're feeling anxious, just let yourself know that you're going to be okay and that this person has the best intentions of you. If he's demonstrating the signs that I said that makes a man good, he's okay. So just give him a chance. Just be patient. And eventually you will feel more safe. You'll feel more trust for this person, because all of this is mainly about two things: trusting him. And if you trust him, you're gonna eventually feel safe around him. But if you don't have that, then you are wasting your time. It's not the right guy, and just move on, because time will reveal his true character. People can't fake themselves for so long. You have to just be mindful and have a sense of discernment. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to the small things. Pay attention to what he's doing. Pay attention to the things that he's not saying. Don't just pay attention to what he's saying, and pay attention to how he treats other people. So like the janitors or the waitress or just people like that, how he treats those type of people he don't get anything benefit of. It's going to be a reflection of how he will treat you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. As always, peace.